Configuring Windows To Go and BitLocker is the subject of this module, Windows To Go being yet another way to deploy Windows 10, and BitLocker being a technology that you may wish to use for encrypting the Windows 10 systems that you deploy. The topics in this module include scenarios in which you might use Windows To Go, how to build and deploy a Windows To Go flash drive, an overview of BitLocker encryption, and a discussion of recovering and managing BitLocker encrypted systems, including a look at group policy settings for BitLocker. Well, first off, let's review Windows To Go and when you might use it. You need Windows 10 Enterprise or Education to create these nifty little drives. So what is Windows To Go? Well, it's actually a full Windows 10 hard drive, except it's not a hard drive. It's a flash drive. Now, we're not talking about some severely limited flavor of Windows like WinPE. This is the real deal. And when you boot a system to Windows To Go, you don't actually see the local hard drive, so no changes are made to it. And being a flash drive, Windows To Go is more portable than an external hard drive, even though those animals are getting pretty conveniently small themselves these days. Neat technology isn't always useful, but there are situations in which Windows To Go might make sense. For example, Globomantics works with contractors who could use access to corporate apps, but who use PCs that are not part of the Globomantics domain. Employees working from home on personal systems might like accessing the standard Globomantics desktop without worrying about whether it's going to change the configuration of their home computers. Temporary employees working remotely might also be productive with WTG, and employees who are just testing Windows 10 could find the boot from a stick design very convenient. Like everything, Windows To Go has its limitations. If you want to access the built-in hard drive, you can't, at least not by default. I'll have more to say about that in a moment. You can't refresh or reset the OS from this environment, although to be honest, the way Microsoft has implemented those features, they're fairly rarely used anyway. Sleep and hibernate modes are disabled by default, although we can change that in group policy. And ARM processors are not supported. No Windows RT, also no Mac systems. The requirements are actually fairly demanding. You need a USB 3 drive, but not just any USB 3 drive, one that's really fast and really robust, and preferably one that Microsoft has bestowed with a Ready for Windows To Go certification. The flash drive needs at least 20 gigs, and although it can operate in a USB 2 port, it's really happier in a USB 3 port. Obviously, the computer that you're using has to be able to boot to USB. Most can these days, but some budget models still lack this ability.